Okay, so what I've seen is a lot of negativity towards this, and I just quickly went through it. I get why people are being negative, but like guys, we have to understand. Artifact loadouts, no. I genuinely do not see that they're gonna happen because they would have added the artifact loadouts if they had an idea to add them. They clearly are saying, one of two ideas. It's too much storage space, or it's, just not a good idea, and I don't think any amount of like constant complaining about it is gonna change it at this point. We will not see it change until we see like literally the developers of the game age out of like developing Genshin. That is basically what we're gonna have to see in order to have artifact loadouts or better quality of life changes. So, that all being said, yeah, this is pretty lackluster. Like, overall, there's not a lot to do, right? This is good, sure. It'll take us to the things. This is good for, people who want to get the artifacts, because this does give you new artifacts and stuff. And then also, we have the Warriors Challenge. Not really, Genshin, you're doing so much to not add the interactive map into the game. Right? Like, just give us a list, right? Like, it's just like, it feels like Genshin is they are literally going at the tortoise pace in terms of providing, like, good quality of life updates. Like, we'll go a full update, and it's like, man, they really are, like, still in, like, what we should have had in, like, 1.6 or something. Right? We should have had this kind of stuff in 1.6, and it just really shows. Like, Genshin does not want to pump out quality of life updates that are absolutely game changing in the way that we play the game, and it just shows. So yeah, there's not really a lot of stuff that we could talk about. Additionally, when you sufficiently reach high exploration, the more chests of each nation can also be located through treasure compass. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you do get these, that's pretty bad for your exploration. Honestly, I personally go for just chests, and that generally maxes out my region to say 100%. So if you're collecting these, you might have a bit of a chance that you're kind of screwing yourself over by saying that you have 100% when there's probably a lot of chests that you have. So this is good, but actually bad, right? This is, because Genshin doesn't want 100% to actually be 100%, right? And then you could batch delete map pins. Honestly, it's so much work. I mean, so map pins aren't necessarily, something I use in the game, honestly. Like, it's genuinely so mind-numbingly, like, I don't use these. It takes so much time to put them down, and then just to delete them later. I don't use these. I know there are people who do use these, but, I don't use them. And then we also have this, which is kind of cool. They're gonna add simplified sort of ideas of what, passives do. We'll have to see this in game, but I think this is very much so needed. If it does work out properly to where this genuinely works, cool. If it's like Star Rail, bad. Because Star Rail's version sucks. I'm gonna be honest. For Star Rail, it feels like you have to read the Star Rail summary and then also the long passive in order to fully understand a character's kit. So when we see Night Soul Blessing here, what exactly is that going to say? We'll see. I mean, they're not showing the details. Genshin, please, you could have shown a not, unreleased character for this. That's bad. You know what? I came into this video feeling like, oh, it's not that bad. But the more I actually look at this and understand, Genshin, just show the feature. Just show the feature, Genshin. Is it that hard? Did you need to show the promotional character? Now, let's talk about the realistic reason why this might be, is because, well, clearly they want you to watch the special program. So yeah. That might not have been a developer decision, or even, well, it was a marketing decision. We'll just put it at that. So not necessarily something a developer would have done. I'm sure that a developer would love to just clearly be able to tell players what their mechanic works like, but no. Marketing, they really had to sneak in that, special program, you're crazy enough to read our dev notes. You don't watch a special program? No, Genshin, everyone who's going to read a dev note is going to do some form of looking at your special program, whether it be through third party or whatever. That was a very, and not good use of explaining a mechanic, because you really just wasted this. This is something, if you were going to do this, put it in the special program. Put it in the special program. Don't even show it in here. To make it easier for travelers to view the required information in domain interface, after version update, the domain interface will be categorized by types of enhancement materials. The display area for enhancement materials will be expanded, resulting in a clear overall presentation. They didn't make it that clear, if we're gonna be entirely honest. This is what they're doing. You go to domains here, you see how we have one, thing labeled domains, and you can sort by that. What they're doing is they're just getting rid of that sorting and adding it to where it's a fewer clicks. This is the kind of optimization I want to see in Genshin. I want to be able to do things easier, just things that I have to do so many times. I want to be able to do them easier, right? When we do boss runs, you change that, Genshin. That was one of the better changes you've made in this entire game, right? Legitimately, those bosses respawning that fast, it's so nice. And genuinely great. You full progress on the bosses, right? Let's be real here. That was full progress on the boss. We don't need anything changed with the bosses anymore, because that change happened. And maybe we could do double boss drops as an event, but that's an event, right? We don't need anything to baseline change with bosses in Overworld. So from what I can see, it's that maybe Mondstadt is at the bottom or something, and they just order it within what came out in Mondstadt. It'll be tough to see until we actually get it in, because I don't think, other than Leeway and Mondstadt, every time we get a new region, they just release new artifacts in that region and never go back and touch another region again, right? They just don't. So I expect, Natlan, what would be a cool change is the region that you're in gets displayed, top. But then again, you may not be in the region that, is displayed. That can really hurt you. So let's talk about this. To help travelers better assess their character building progress, after the new version is launched, a prompt will appear once all enhancement materials currently held meet the set ascension requirements when using the progression calculator. After selecting the character, even if you leave the crafting bench to collect materials in the middle, you will be directly redirected to a set crafting interface when you return, avoiding the repeated operations. Okay, this is something that Star Rail has, but I think Star Rail has a better version of this. I'm not going to say that, because yeah, you don't have to go into the Omni Synthesizer to craft the things. You click two buttons, you say material synthesis, you click yes, I want to, material synthesis, whatever, and it crafts the materials and auto levels the talents. So if I am able to craft 14 purple books, let me click craft 14 purple books. Now, I have not actually used this system, but from a way that they're describing this, it basically means that you're just gonna have to exit out. It'll take you to it, but you have to craft, then go back, and then you can get, shield and burst raised up. It's not great. All right, I'm just gonna talk about this. This is the useless, really? Okay, so what they've done is they just made this, the character model thing, this button, they just put it up there. Cool. I'm not gonna, it's closer to what we have. Sure. Is it a change that needed to happen? Did we need to program something? I would have preferred them to take the time of programming this and put a direct material synthesis, in here. I want to be able to craft those books directly from this menu without having to go and craft them in a second menu. This, I've never really felt like it was a huge deal to, oh, let me click shield and let me replace, because it also saves your previous character. So once you've selected like the character that you know you're going to use on a material, it's going to save it. Risley is my crafting character. He is the guy who crafts me all my weapon mats. He is on there every single time. This button from now on, when I'm going to craft weapon materials beyond a new region releasing at this point, legitimately, Risley, the button here is useless. It's useless. You know, it's not a bad change. I will say it's a good change. Did it need to happen though? No, it didn't. It should have been just being able to craft this immediately. Don't put any, development time into this. Really. All right, let's go ahead. Time reminders for collection process to make characters leveling faster. Good change. Absolutely good change. I'm assuming if you want to say like, oh, I want to get this man to level 90, it'll be like 1 out of 168, which is so good. That's so good. This is a great change. This is, because all the time I'm like constantly going back and forth like, do I have enough flowers? Do I have enough flowers? Now I don't even have to check. Great change. Absolutely amazing change. This one, this is also good, because I'm like, this matters because this is directly spending resin. Do you want to do an extra domain run when you don't need to? No, nobody does. So, we could just back off and we can, do whatever. So now we have Imaginarium Theater. This is good, right? It's a very much so. I can already tell by looking at it. It's, a better change. This change really shouldn't be, it's not a major change, right? I don't think I can call it a major change. It's a good change. I think I leave it at that, because most of the time I really don't look at things like this. I really don't. I wouldn't go and be like, oh, do I have, whatever blessing or whatever. But this is a good change for the people who do, go ahead and look and, oh, I have this many blessings in this, whatever. Okay, new Stella achievement rewards. Okay, 1, I'm just going to say it. Fragile resin. Why is it transient? 2, sanctifying elixir. That now brings our sanctifying elixir up per update, which was very needed, genuinely. And 9-starring this, I think if they want to start, hey, you beat the good difficult content, here's your sanctifying elixir. Genshin, you just made the $1 million. That's the $1 million idea right there. You do that and then everyone's happy. Legitimately, if they just start handing out this stuff, like, let Genshin bring it up to 4 an update. 4 an update. I know it's a little tough, Genshin. I know. Right now, if you buy the battle pass, it's 2 an update, including this change, by the way. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. 4 an update, though. Now we're talking. I think maybe 5.7, oh, hey, if you beat all the Spiral Abyss, here's another sanctifying elixir. I'm just saying, and I don't know if 9 stars is the maximum you can get in a theater. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care that much. I generally just get the maximum amount of stars you can. I assume this is close to max. I think maybe at best it's like 12 more, but I would assume 9 is, it's decently difficult to get at the very least. So to help travelers get closer to the rewards, starting for version 5.6, after completing the last act's challenge, the restart performance function will be available. Are you talking about an entire go ahead and do the entire Imaginarium Theater again? No, thank you. What this should be, no, this is, okay, this is like the peak of Genshin being really good at optimizing, right? Like this is literally the peak of what Genshin, with their, quality of life updates, if you will. This is the peak, and this is like, a couple of these are like the lows, right? Overall, I do think people were hating on this a little too much. It has some nice little nuggets of gold in here, if we're being entirely honest. You can't fully hate this dev note, but man, Genshin, how about if I clear the entire thing, you let me restart on whatever like floor or boss I want to? How about that? Give me a retry against the ones that I didn't complete, right? You just have a, I don't know, I guess if you fail, just that, like, sort of have it in the code, right? And if you exit the performance, it doesn't allow you to do it, right? Have that be that. If you fail it, it does a save state of what you had, what like all your options were when you were going up against the, phase, and then, the next one, and however many you failed at to get the maximum reward, you can just go back and with your characters that you had, and it wouldn't be too much server space because, you would just exit and immediately it would get wiped off the servers, right? So it wouldn't be that bad. So yeah, I gotta say, this really, like, man, the update, it's like it's there, but it's not. This isn't all over the place. Just you don't really like. There's not a lot there, right? This update is very much so. I have no idea. Like, some of it is like really good. Some of it, it's like, man, it's insulting that you spent your time on this when you could have done better on this thing, right? Like, it does feel like that, right? I think overall, though, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.